Every waking moment, it seems, we are fire-hosed with pixels. Tweets, texts, likes, posts, so many, so fast, it's easy to forget there are real people behind them. So it is a rare artist who can put a stranger into your Facebook feed that makes you stop and feel and empathize. Humans of New York is a popular photo blog that does just that with such grace. I just had to meet the creator. Hell is other people, the philosopher once said, and some days in New York City, it's really hard to disagree. When the huddled masses make it impossible to breathe free, when it feels like you versus 8 million thems. But if you can break the crowd into pieces, and then break the stone-faced armor until the honesty spills out, the city softens. When you learn that he wishes he'd gone to college, or that she is still reeling from a broken engagement, and that his prostate cancer makes him sad and afraid, the mean streets don't seem so mean. When you learn that she is mad because he didn't call her after the game, or that she's happy because he dressed up and carried the picnic basket, or that his dad is a strong fireman who once saved 11 people. 11! Well, then how can you not love this town? How can you not love the humans of New York? A photographic melting pot of joy and pain, wisdom and beauty, ethos and pathos and pure molten cuteness. And they are brought to you by this human of New York, a lovable guy named Brandon Stanton.
Excuse me. I was wondering if there's any way I could take a photo of you two, just like this. I'm an artist. I just take street portraits.
He has approached over 10,000 strangers this way.
He wants me to talk about you.
What do?
And what they give him gets shared on Facebook millions of times a day. Though he has a limited knowledge of camera settings and Photoshop software, his first book is about to land atop the bestseller list. And though he almost never posts pictures of himself,
I'm a huge fan.
Thank you so much.
somehow people know that this is the guy who moves them.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
The guy who connects them, one honest portrait at a time.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
It's like being with the mayor. Are you kidding me? Pretty incredible considering that 3.5 years ago, he was a stressed out bond trader in Chicago. But then 2 events changed his life. First, he got a real camera, and then he got fired.
I woke up. I lost my job and I woke up. Now that I'm fired, I have all this thought energy to put into any direction I want.
And what he wanted was to take pictures of interesting strangers.
My mom basically thought that this was my glorified way of not working. I'm serious though. Just like, oh, Brandon's in New York taking pictures of people on the street and putting them on Facebook. You know what I mean?
We're so proud of him.
Exactly. And so, here I am doing this all day long with absolutely nothing to show for it. And so this went on for 6 months. I photographed every single day. I photographed on Christmas Eve. I photographed on Christmas. I photographed on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, all day long.
He took some decent shots in the early days and built a modest following, but then he started actually talking to his subjects. And much to his surprise, he learned that people are more willing to open up to a stranger with a camera than to even their best friends.
And she said, when my husband was dying, I said, Mo, how am I supposed to live without you? And he said, take the love you have for me and spread it around. And her voice was kind of quivering, and the rain was coming down. I said, thank you very much. And I turned the corner and just started crying.
And we started posting these raw little vignettes along with the photos. His following exploded. If I follow you on my Facebook feed, there's a completely different feel I get from what you put up as opposed to even some of my best friends.
Yeah, because everything on social media and Facebook is so stage managed. It's a cliche, but you get everybody's highlight reels. Social media is secondary when I'm having these conversations on the street. You're kind of getting the full spectrum, the insecurities, the tragedies.
You're getting uncut, pure humanity.
Exactly.
So how does he do it? Well, over time he's learned that it's not what you say to a stranger, but how you say it.
It's all about the energy you give off. And for me, and on the streets of New York, that's about making yourself as non-threatening, genuine, natural as possible. I like this guy. I'm going to ask him. Excuse me. I was wondering if there's any way I could take your photograph just like that.
He's honed his approach so well, 2 out of every 3 say yes. And he knows just how popular that yes will be.
over 30,000 likes.
30,000.
She will get over 30,000 likes. I can tell after a minute where it's going to be after a day. She is cute. All right, here we go. 14 seconds, 60 likes. 24 seconds, 164.
That's incredible.
That's going to be a big one.
And this community gives more than just likes. Case in point, the time he met a little boy selling a blanket full of cowboy supplies so he could buy a horse.
So I went up and I pulled his mom aside and I said, you know, if we could get a horse for Rumi, you know, is this something that you would want? And she started crying. She said, we live in a small New York apartment. What he needs is a dog.
So he asked his honey followers to kick in a few bucks to send Rumi to a dude ranch. And in less than an hour, had $30,000 in donations.
Hey, you look great. Let's go take a picture.
It's easy to mock the old cultures that believe a camera can steal the soul. But Humans of New York is a kind of photography that makes you wonder if they're right.
All right, let's do it right here.
And if it makes you think differently about that passing stranger in your big city or small town.
All right, no smile though. You just told me a sad story, Bill.
Well, that makes Brandon Stanton one happy guy. I'm Bill Weir for Nightline in New York City.